Morning. This is Norman Michaelation with ICAC Unpacked, Episode 4. How old he is he or she? Um, I want to start out by saying that I took down the other one as I indicated because I had done it in a rush. I had tried it several times. YouTube wouldn't accept it because my ham-handed way of covering up some of the naughty bits didn't pass muster, and I flopped it together and it didn't work. And I want to do a shout out to Randy Regan and some of the other folks who pointed this out to me. I knew it wasn't great and I took it down. But for all those trolls out there and the people who want to still come at me, even though they try to give me a little advice on the side, understand that all of us out here are, we are damaged, and many of us are. We have been under assault constantly when we speak out, particularly. I understand that the legal establishment and certain of the people watching these videos want us to just kind of go away. And I get it, it's very, very easy to think that we're an apologist for things and we're just making excuses and blah, blah, blah. But, and that does happen. We see evidence every single day in politicians and political um, appointees and famous people getting in trouble and denying it, and then later it comes out that they were very, very guilty. But there's also a segment of the population that isn't. There's a segment of the population that did not have any intent to do anything and didn't really do anything. But what we hear from people like you out there are common questions. And so a couple of people ask, well, why are you doing this particular series, even though it's gotten a lot of clicks relative to some of my other videos out there? And the reason is we hear all the time from people who are, again, trolls, defined as people who come on and simply attack me and attack through me other people whose stories I tell. And one of the questions we get all the time is, well, if you knew the age, why did you keep talking? And of course, that assumes the police narrative. And that's the problem, is that this channel exists to give the other side of it. And they have, our opponents have the field. They have the field in the courts, they have the field in, out there, and they are believed, the police, the prosecutors, etc., by a public that doesn't have the interest of the time to really investigate it. And as long as that's going to continue, it's going to continue to be a mess. And we're not going to get at what's really happening with children. And people like me who spent a lifetime protecting, advocating for children, helping children, delighting in them learning something and moving on and seeing them go on and get great college educations and careers in a variety of fields and meet someone special and marry and have children and be invited, to their children's baptism and to their homes. And, you know, for somebody like me who's had that his entire life, it is very daunting dealing with what we deal with today. You know, um, One of the reasons I was in a rush is I had to get to work because I was being evaluated that day. The reason I took down episode 4, and hopefully we'll do it better at this time. And I had a student who had been one of my one of my best students, but they read something that the trolls had written, and they wrote me and they said something not so nice. And when I responded, they said, well, I haven't known you for a while. I haven't known you for like 15 years, 15, 20 years ago. As if that changes anything. My character hasn't changed that radically in that time. And I was very gentle with this person, but I said how disappointing it was since they knew me all these years, and I'm the same person that wrote the letter of recommendation for them, etc. Um, so it's very, very disheartening because people who come on here will call our employers, they will call our neighbors, and they'll make as much trouble as they possibly can. So, you know, they think they have it all figured out, these trolls, when they're on here. They think they understand it all. So, as I said, one of the comments that I get all the time is, if you knew the age, why did you continue talking? Well, it assumes, first of all, that you're talking about sex. Okay. Just because the police said that doesn't mean anything. And they ask us, of course, the trolls, what's your evidence? They never ask the police what their evidence is. There's never an investigative reporter, or I should say, rarely an investigative reporter. And when you get one, like there's been one on Reason.com, there was one on the appeal, the police don't call them back. Okay. And if you read the article about me, not about me, but features me in part, I don't want to exaggerate it, on the appeal by um, trying to remember his name, Stephen Yoder. Uh, he says, I reached out to the police. They talked to me at first. I asked them probing questions. They didn't call me back. And this is what happens over and over again. So at least have the same standard for them as you have for us. So I want to show this episode 4. Hopefully, I will do it well. Again, one of these days I'll have time to uh, look up where there's some software or whatever, so that I can have a split screen effect or something, because we do have some people who have a forensic background who want to explain exactly how police manipulate evidence, how they tweak it, how they change conversations around in text and chats to make it appear, and how they delete things, how they lose evidence all the time. They're very, very clumsy, these police. They seem to be losing an awful lot of evidence of late as they're being questioned. And again, if you have a bunch of people who never met one another singing the same song, maybe it's time to look into the song a little bit instead of criticizing them for singing. So this is episode 4. I'm going to hold it up. This actually is a real person, and he was not a person that he was an adult. He claimed to be an adult, but what they did was they claimed that this was an underage person in order to try to make the charge stick. Here's the picture. Hopefully, I can get up close enough. I tore this end right up here because I was trying to do something funky last time. It didn't work. I want you to note, if you look very carefully, you can see tattoos on there. Why do you have tattoos on there if the person is underage? Well, hopefully YouTube will accept this submission, and hit me back in the comments, remembering this, that when people are told on this online platform, another question that comes up, when they're told, um, you should have just desisted when they told you they were underage. Remember, you've been talking on a platform where people talk smack, where they lie about their age, their height, their weight, where they will tell you all manner of things, and at the last minute, before you're going to meet, before you're going to, go to the next step, they will suddenly shift it naturally to come up with lots of other conditions or comments, or they'll ghost you or something like that. Or they will say, oh, by the way, I'm 15, or hey, I would meet with you, but I really want you to talk to my 15-year-old son or 15-year-old daughter, and they have to be part of our games. And then, you wonder why people are confused. And what we hear all the time from trolls is, well, you should have blocked them immediately. I would have done that, which is a version of Monday morning quarterbacking, right? These are the same people who probably would never ever be caught in a practical joke because they're just too clever. They'll see it coming. And ask yourself, car thieves are everywhere. So, people surely have heard of car thievery before. So why didn't they lock the door? People here have said, you've heard of Chris Hansen. You've heard cops are on here. You've heard people who are underage are on there. You should have known all that. Okay, all right. Well, again, have you ever been a victim of theft? You should have known thieves are around, so you shouldn't have been a victim of theft. You should have known to lock your door because you know thieves are around somewhere. People create blind spots. They're busy. They've got their mind on other things. Okay, that doesn't make them a criminal in our case. And it doesn't make them terrible people or bumbling idiots in the other case. All right. So hit me back. Let me know what you think about that, and have a good day.